Siri.
I'm Rachel.
Gregorian chant.
Incense.
Beauty.
Intense history.
A universal connection.
What are we talking about?
My preschool sandbox.
What? I have sandbox envy. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're really talking about today is
the Tridentine Mass,
also known as the Latin Mass or the traditional Mass. So today we want to share with you some of our experiences with the beauty that is the Latin Mass.
Almost a year ago now, we started attending the Latin Mass regularly. And as I kept coming back week after week, I had to learn more and more about what it was that I was actually experiencing. The first couple of times I went, I knew it was beautiful. I knew Jesus in the Eucharist was there. But what was I actually experiencing? What was my role in all of it?
See, in the Novus Ordo Mass, the form of the Mass that I would say that most of us are used to, you know that your heart and mind are supposed to be in the words that you or the priests are praying out loud. But in the Latin Mass, there's a lot of silence. What are we supposed to do with all of it?
One thing I heard a priest say once is that there is a lot of silence in the Latin Mass because there is a lot of noise in the world. Guys, we have a video on the beauty of silence, which you should totally check out. But basically, God's voice is heard in the silence. When we take the time to slow down, we can actually have a conversation with Christ.
One of the priests at our parish put it like this: every Mass that you go to, no matter if it's the Tridentine Mass or a Novus Ordo Mass, it's an encounter with God. The God who loves me has called me here. This is the mindset that we should have. As we genuflect, we should pray, "Thank you for calling me here."
And as we go through the Latin Mass, everything should be beautiful because it's God's beauty encompassing us. Quite a bit though, in the Latin Mass, sometimes it's hard to know where to look, what to pay attention to. Recently, I read a really good article that talked about how sometimes it is the point to get lost in the Mass.
The blogger says, if you get lost in prayer or reading or rereading something while others have moved on, or you forget to care what the words mean when the chant takes your breath away, then, in my mind, you have really met the goal.
The music, a specific line of prayer or scripture, the language, the ancient language that the saints, the popes, and Catholics before us have prayed for centuries. Sometimes God just speaks to us in the little moments.
So yes, this is how we can learn to pray the Latin Mass.
So in writing this video, we realized that we actually have too much awesomeness to share about the Latin Mass to fit it into one video.
You probably don't want to sit and stare at our faces for 10 minutes.
But this is great, because after this awesome video on the silence and beauty of the Latin Mass, we can spend next week's video talking more about the specifics, like the Missal. And you guys can look forward to it all week.
But this week, take time to pray about how God has invited you to experience this God encounter.
Stand by for next week's part 2 of why Latin Mass is super cool and awesome.
Go build a sandcastle in a sandbox. And be holy!
Smile, Chisley. Okay. I'll probably have footage in there that I can use. Okay, step back.